Okay, welcome. Another Facebook Live coming up. I did one last week. I tried to do more, but well, I had webinars. I had all sorts of things going on. So this week, I think I'll be able to do about 3 of them, 3 or 4. We'll see how it goes. Things are kind of hectic at the moment. Now, I'm Kim Willis, of course, and I think I've got a good little topic here for you. Probably 8 or 9 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. It's called "Focus on Value, Not Money." Now, that's not to say that money isn't important. Of course, it's important. It's mighty important. It certainly beats just about everything else that we can look at. But when it comes to marketing, building a business, I think building value is the name of the game. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, I'm a digital nomad. I've been seeing the world, tripping around, doing different things. I've been in Asia for the last few years. Right now, I'm in Cambodia, and unfortunately, the thing I wanted you to hear is now stopped. How's that for bad timing? It was basically the monks. They're out the front of the house that I'm in, and they're chanting, right? And there's been a lot of chanting and other music, traditional music happening over the last few days, because this week is what is known as Chumben, okay? And it's all part of the Ancestors' Day ceremony that happens every year. And it's a public holiday, so there's a public holiday today and tomorrow, and there's another festival day on Thursday, right? It's Tuesday for me right now. And it's quite interesting, and a lot of the people I'm in the capital city, Phnom Penh, a lot of the people leave the city. The city is very quiet at the moment. They leave the city to visit, to go to their ancestral homelands, and yeah, it's completely alien to me, completely foreign to me, but that's what I was looking for when I decided to, explore other cultures in different parts of the world. And Asia, I find kind of endlessly fascinating. So, who we got on the call now? Let me see. Nelly, hi Nelly. Ross, hi Nelly. Yeah, Olga, Leah, hi Leah. You're on last week's call, I think. Michael, g'day Michael. How you doing, mate? I know you've been tripping around the last week or so. Ross, hi Ross. Ross from down under, I recall. All right, Connie, hi Connie, my good friend Connie. Mary, Rachel, Bailey, and who else we got? Ellie, hi Ellie. I was just chatting to you on Messenger. How about that? Yeah, and Michael's coming in from Ucalpa, California, west of Los Angeles. All right, so that's a little about me. Back to the topic. I'm reminded of a quote from Albert Einstein. I guess you've heard of Albert Einstein, very famous professor, and law of relativity and all of that. He also had he was a socialist by inclination, but he also made some pithy observations about business, about life, the human condition, etc. Made him a more rounded individual, I think. And I always remember this quote from him, and it went something like this: become a man of value rather than a man of success. So, okay, back in those days, the man was the one that was working. So let's just change it slightly. Become a person of value rather than a person of success. Now, I don't think he was saying that success is a bad thing. Making money is a bad thing. I don't think he was saying that. I'm just saying that I think he was saying that if you kind of lead with value, if you focus on value, success will automatically follow in one form or another. It could be in a monetary way, it could be in terms of accolades and approval from your peers and so on. So I kind of like that idea, and I think it's an idea that's very well suited to the world of social media. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the main ones. LinkedIn is another one. Become a person of value. That's why it kind of mystifies me that so many people are in, say, network marketing or affiliate marketing, other types of sales businesses. They they ignore that golden rule. They ignore that profound and key principle. So what do? They go into pitch mode, selling mode. Hey, look at my thing, how wonderful it is. Look, they couldn't care less about your thing. Most people, they couldn't care less about it. They couldn't care less about it. People only want to deal with people that they know and they like and they trust. You know, you've got the three key points there. And the best way to build the knowing and the liking and the trust is to lead with value. So I remember when I first got started in the home biz industry, I was an affiliate for a high ticket program. This was in 2006. And the deal was to generate leads online, but contact them offline using the telephone. And they taught me a pitchy method, right? It was just basically you phone them up and straight off the bat, you're into high pitch mode. And I tried that approach for a week and it was dismal. It was a horrible experience. I hated every living minute of it. But more than that, it didn't work. It did not work. So at the end of that week of contacting these people, these leads, because the leads were coming, yeah, I had the leads within 24 hours from advertising, okay, usually using the Google platform actually back then. Things are different now. So there was no problem getting the leads, but converting them, moving those leads up to a higher level of interest, etc., was the objective, but it just wasn't happening. So I just abandoned it at the end of that first week. I just said to myself, and I spoke to the lady that introduced me, Tanya, and I said, Tanya, I don't like this approach. It is not working for me. Maybe it works for others, but it's not working for me. Instinctively, it doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel good. And she said, okay, well, do you have another idea? Because, you know, I'd already come from a successful marketing background in the offline world. So she had some respect for me. She didn't sort of insist that I stick to the plan in this instance. And she said, normally I would insist, but because of your background, if you've got another idea, run it by me. And I said, well, I just like the idea of leading with a bit of value first. Just finding out what makes them tick, what are they looking for, how can I help? I like the idea of being helpful, and that's part of the value equation, isn't it? I like that idea. So that's what happened. Now let's see who else we got on the call here. Lina Dole, that's a great name. Lina Dole, or is it Lina Dole? Anyway, nice name. Emma, hi Emma, Jimmy, Chris, Rebecca, seen your name before. You're in my challenge, the How to Make Money from a Facebook Group challenge last week. I remember seeing your name there. Great to see you. Yeah, so that's how I got started in 2006. I just abandoned the traditional kind of hard sell method that I tried for that week. And then from that point on, when I was talking to people, I was leading with value. I was taking an interest in them. I was being helpful. But don't get me wrong, I still had a commercial intent. I had a commercial sensibility about me. I wanted to do business if it was possible to do business. But I'd only move to that second step, the business step, if I believed and was convinced that this person was going to be a good fit for what I was doing, okay? And the reality is that most people were not a good fit, so it was a bit of a sifting process. But even if that person didn't fit, they weren't suitable for whatever reason, we still had a good little call. It might have only been 5 minutes. I made them feel good. They felt very good about me, and you know, we ended on amicable terms. The other group, the smaller group of people who did qualify, they were quality people, the kind of people I was looking for, I probably gave them 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes. And by the end of that call, they were eating out of the palm of my hand. And I think a lot of it is to do with the fact that I was leading with value. I was giving them value and a kind of an enriching experience for them. And then they're thinking, wow, this is the sort of person I'd like to do business with. You'd like to have that happen to you, wouldn't you? You want people to be thinking that, having that kind of thought, saying, I like this person. I instinctively feel that this person knows what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. they're projecting leadership qualities. They may not be thinking quite in those highfalutin terms, but you know what I mean. If you can engender that kind of response in people, boy, I'd say that's probably 80% of the deal done. 80%. So my idea was that at the end of the call, even if they hadn't paid any money, instinctively they thinking, hey, if this thing stacks up, if this deal stacks up that he's talking about, I want to work with this guy. I want to join this guy's team. And so that was my purpose. So as I said, first week was a dismal failure. I used the high sell, the hard pitch method. Second week and thereafter, things started to work, and that's why I made over 9,000 as a part-timer by the end of the first month. Just as a part-timer, I had a full-time thing that I had to go to every day. But to make money that fast within the first month, to me, is fantastic, because I led with value, and value came back to me. Value flowed back to me in the form of money. So that's my early experience, and since then I've established blogs and YouTube channels and all that kind of thing. But once again, I use the same approach. I try to become a person, I try to be a person of value, and then I just figure that if you help people a little bit, you give them value, you show them a little bit of leadership, they'll automatically kind of draw forward, they'll lean forward, metaphorically speaking, and they're saying to themselves, hey, if there's a way, I'd like to do business with this person. So people ask me a lot about conversion, and conversion is a huge issue. Most people have a problem converting leads. It's not so much about generating leads, because if you set up a Facebook group, and you do some of these other organic things on Facebook and Twitter and other platforms like that, you will get leads. It's pretty certain you'll get some leads, but converting them is a problem. So may I suggest that you think about what I've said today and look at some of these ideas revolving around a value-first approach. All right, now, who else have we got on the call here? Anyone like to kind of lean forward and say something about the value equation, leading with value? And particularly if it's worked for you and it's translated not just to in terms of building a happy tribe of followers, but in terms of money, in terms of sales. Is anybody able to lean forward and say, yeah, it does work? Any examples? Let's have a look here. Okay, you hear a lot of echo. Don't know what to do about that one. If it's my end, I'm sorry, but yeah. Hi, Douglas, Diane, yeah. I've got a new laptop, and it has given us or me a little bit of technical challenge. And at the moment, I cannot use a headset for some reason. I'm going to take it back to the computer shop, but I can't do that because of these this festival and there's holidays until Thursday or Friday. But that may be, if there is a bit of echo on the call, it may be because I'm not using a microphone, but it should still be okay. Okay, now Michael has asked a really good question here. How long, and I'm so glad that you've asked this question, because I've got this situation happening at the moment with people that I'm working with, that I'm mentoring. And so the question is, how long do you give value before you start moving towards a point where you want to do some business? And that's a fantastic question. And I guess particularly, one of the things that we're doing at the moment is we're running these challenges, right? Facebook challenges, different topics. We've got one starting next week called it's called Hot Content for for coaches, right? I've got another variation on that. It's called Hot Content for affiliates. And the one that we concluded last week was called How to Make Money with a Facebook Group. Now, it doesn't go into every little nuance, every little detail on how to turn a group into a money spinner, because it's a free challenge. It's just not possible to give people that kind of intimate guidance. But still, it was a very popular challenge. We had some fantastic feedback and all the rest of it. but it's a free challenge. So there's an example of giving value. So if you're running a challenge or you're running a free webinar or something like that, or even if you're just posting really good content in a group or on your, you know, on your fan page, personal profile, whatever, or running Facebook Lives, when do you cross over? What's the trigger point? Is there a trigger point where you move from being this wonderful, helpful kind of a person to a person that is putting on the hunter hat and having more of a commercial focus? Well, I guess in a sense, in a way, it depends on the situation. So if let's say you're promoting a webinar and it's a webinar with an offer at the end of the webinar, okay, well, that's much more sales focused. You can still be giving value at the beginning, but, you know, there's a sales focus, there's a specific dollar related offer at the end. All right, well, you know, there's a good balance there. You've got it all in the one package. So you've got the value for, say, 80% of the webinar, and then the remaining 10 or 20% is your offer. So that, to me, would be a pretty easy way to do it, sort of a common sense way of doing it. If you're just posting content, you're posting good content, you're doing videos, you're doing Facebook Lives, etc. All right, well, you know, I guess it's a matter of reaching out to people on Messenger. I think Messenger is one of the best conversion tools that there is. Best conversion tools I've seen in terms of social media. It's fantastic. And you reach out to them, and if it was me, I'd be finding out what keeps them awake at night, what their pain point is, and just gradually just nudge people to the point where we know what their pain point is, we know what their problem is, and then I can just ask them a simple question. Do you want to do something about that? Or would you like to speed things up? Something like that. Okay, so now that's a pivot point. And that's something I'm going to talk about on one of the next calls. So just give you little snippets. These are only 10-minute calls, so I've got to keep them brief. Okay, but you've got to find the pivot point based on your model, your business model, your strategy, the methods that you're currently using. But there's always a pivot point, and usually it comes back to the one-on-one discussion that you have. But it needs to be a purposeful discussion. Helpful by all means, but purposeful as well. And so there needs to be a commercial sensibility about what you're doing there. So that's, I don't know if that answers it, but maybe in a way it does. Let's see. Diane says, Andrew Porto. My goodness. Now there's a blast from the past. Andrew, wow. Yeah, that's, and a very happy memory that I have of the time that I was with Andrew and in a company that was a pretty good company, and I still have very warm feelings about that company. It's just a bit sad what happened at the end there, but great to see you, Andrew. Audrey, yeah, hi Audrey. Now, Diane says, sure, if we help someone freely with a part of their problem, they'll be more inclined to come to us for the big stuff and pay for it gladly. Yes, but I put a caveat on that. If we just take a completely passive approach, we just sit around waiting for them to come to us, guess what? It ain't going to happen. Or it's not going to happen very often. So we need to nudge it along. We have to do that. All right. So this is where we kind of, it's a battle between wearing our farmer's hat, we're cultivating, we're nurturing, and then we've got to put on our hunter's hat. And I do think that some people have a problem with one or the other. You've got your born salespeople. They instinctively just want to hunt, right? But it doesn't work very well on social media. But then you've got your farmer type people, and there's more of them, by the way. There's a lot more of them than there are hunters. And they're real comfortable with giving value, being helpful, and being nice, and all the rest of it. But you know, I still got the T-shirt in the wardrobe there, and on the back of it says, "No more Mr. Nice Guy," because I was always known as the nice guy, right? And then one day, one of my mentors gave me a very brutal lesson, and he says, "You're going to be the brokest nice guy in town if you don't do something about it." So you've got to find that pivot point, and yeah, you've got to move to business mode. Otherwise, all you're going to do is have lots and lots of people who think you're wonderful, think you're nice, and all the rest of it. But guess what? They're not doing any business with you. Okay, so you've got to lose any fear that you have or any hesitation that you might have about, you know, moving to business mode. And, you know, at the end of it, there's going to be an offer and there's going to be money exchanged, hopefully. So anyway, I hope that helps. Now, Ellie asked the question, just let me come back up here. What is a good group member turnover rate for moving on to new customers and to stop trying to pitch old non-responsive members? Yes, that's another good question, and I can't give you a really definitive answer because it would take more time. I need to be asking different questions about your situation. But look, a group, if you have a Facebook group, for instance, it's a bit like any other organisation, whether it's be a church, you know, a business association in the offline world, etc. Most people who start movements, groups, tribes, cults, religions, business organizations, etc. They know one thing. They know that for every 10 people who join that particular group or movement or whatever, for every 10, you'd be lucky to have one that kind of lock into it, right, and come alive. All right. The other 9, you know, they'll have a bit of an interest for the first week or two, and then, you know, the focus starts to drop, and before you know it, they've gone off somewhere else. So my attitude is, particularly if you're using a Facebook group strategy, is that you've got to move very fast. You have some people who've joined your Facebook group. Let's say you've had 10 people join your Facebook group in the last week. Okay, that's what's that, about 2 a day, something like that. If you've had 10 people join your group, you've got to move very fast with those people because you know that they've got the low attention span, generally. Most people have got low attention span. So the objective or my objective is to try and bring people into what I call the inner circle. So if we can get them to commit more to the thing that they've just joined early, and even if, let's say it's network marketing, they've joined your network marketing thing, man, if I was in a network, I'm not doing a network marketing thing now, but when I was doing network marketing, my attitude was that I got to move fast with these people because they could quit on me by tomorrow. I got to assume that they're going to be gone within 48 hours. I haven't got a moment to lose. So my attitude was, let me get them into action. Let's see if we can get some business flowing. Let's get some action happening with them within the first 1 to 3 days. Because I don't know what's going to happen after that. And so the same thing with a Facebook group. You've set up a nice Facebook group. It's not a pitchy group, etc. If you want to do business with those people, why not reach out to them and have a one-on-one with them within the first few days? That's what I would be doing. Because the attention span's going to drop. And before you know it, they've gone and they don't even know what your group is anymore. They've forgotten it. They don't even know. They can't even remember the name of the damn thing, right? So your objective is to bring them into your inner circle, see if you can get them to commit to posting content. They take a little bit of ownership of it. See if you can educate them about commenting, so they start commenting in your group. If you can get them to do that, that will help build a sense of community. That's really important. And in terms of doing business, yeah, you'll do it on Facebook Messenger, one-on-one chatting, uncovering the pain point or whatever. And, then you've got a much better chance of doing business. And even if you've only got a very small front-end offer, okay, lead with that. Look, even if I've had people buy a $7 thing off me, like a $7 info product, okay? Just as initial offer, an initial offer, they buy that info product. Some of those people have gone on to spend tens of thousands of dollars with me. But they started with one little offer, one little product. So I don't care. Small offer, fine, no problem. All right. Then at least we know that they're half serious because they've, put their credit card on the line and they've spent a little bit of money. So just another thought there. All right. Now this is not a full scale training, so I'm going to end it. Yeah, sure. If we have a problem, they'll be more inclined. Yeah, okay, we've got that. Diane, hi Diane. Carlet, okay, let's keep at it. Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, that's it. Okay, that's it for now. I'll do another one tomorrow. I'm not sure what the topic is. I've got to decide, but it'll be something to do. It'll be a marketing-related topic, and I promise you, I will give you value. All right. This is Kim Willis. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Actually, I'll bring my guitar. I'll see if I can play a song for you tomorrow, okay? Okay, look out for that.